Did everybody else just get kicked off too?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That was weird. It said there was someone else was starting a new session, so I don't know.
Yep, it said it closed it and
Yeah,
a new section started.
well,
That's happened before. I don't know if he can come back. I think we've lost him.
we've lost Dan. No.
Probably telling some great golden nuggets right now too. Thinking
I
we're
got
on.
kicked off too.
I did.
Was it something I said? I didn't say anything. Well, maybe the culprit's Dan, because he's not on the line.
Unless he was scheduled for 2 different calls at the same time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, he was
Anyway.
driving, so
For your clients that are moving up from Sierra Vista, do they have an agent down there?
No, they don't. And they're still not ready to put their Hi, Dan. Their Sierra Vista home on the market. They haven't decided whether they're going to sell it or rent it out, but that will
Okay.
also be in the pipeline for me as well.
Okay, because I work down there also.
I work
Okay.
in Sierra Vista and live here, so more than willing to
Oh,
help too.
great. Thank
Been
you.
here
very
for
much,
27
Dr.
years, so.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Did anyone else get kicked out of the call?
Yes.
No, you just left us. Everybody else is here. No, just kidding. We all got kicked out.
Yeah, because the notice I got was that someone started a new class,
Yeah.
which,
yeah.
okay, everyone got that too. And I threw it up in the leadership chat. I was like, who the hell kicked us out of Scripps? And they're all like, oh, I don't know. We're logging into shit. Anyways, it is 8:08. And I love that you guys were communicating about the sell side of that. That was one of the things that pinged to my, looks like other people already asked that question.
How's everyone's coffee this morning? Mine's hot and good and free. How's yours?
Oh, I can't see it. There it is. That's my coffee in the morning. Rockstar lemonade.
Jason's is invisible.
All right. All right, back to it. Who's got some news on in the background?
I hear some feedback.
It was Charity. She wasn't paying attention. She had TV on the background. So I muted her. You're muted. Goodbye.
I thought I was muted. Sorry.
Nope. It's all right. I went through the process of elimination, just muted people in series. All right, guys, it is Monday morning, and we need to talk about the things that drive us every day, and that is the reason why we got out of bed this morning. What are you going to do with your life this week? Whose lives are you going to change? And what are you going to do to find a piece of business today? Maybe call somebody. Maybe text a couple people.
Sorry, Dan, we thought you were frozen.
Maybe
We got a really bad connection.
social media.
You know, one thing that drives me, I get up early in the morning, usually 3:30, and I'll go to my TV and I'll turn on episodes of Gold Rush up there in Alaska. And watching these guys mine for gold and how they form their businesses gets me excited, because I feel that every day I go to a minefield and I'm looking for the nuggets, I'm looking for the gold, not only for myself and my business, but for my clients. You know, if we've got a buyer, we're searching for a great house for our buyer. If we've got a seller, we're looking for a great buyer for our seller's property. And the more efficient you can get it, the more technology.
Options to choose from. There are 4.
Pardon me? Anyhow, the more efficient you can get with your gold mining operation, and you always want to set a goal for how many ounces of gold you're going to extract from that area that you're mining every year, the more efficient, and you keep your costs down, the more money you can go back and reinvest in your business or in your family, or to help pay for the dreams that we all have. Remember, in America, our Constitution in the preamble said you have the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I often thought the pursuit of happiness meant the opportunity to dream. And what is the greatest American dream? Only your own home. So we are all dream makers, and it gets real exciting because every day you'll hear, especially on these meetings where people have successes, like they had their first buyer, their first transaction. That's wonderful. And every time any of us are successful, it should encourage the rest of us to dig in a little deeper and know that it's possible. And right now, our industry, our company in this marketplace is absolutely a gold field, a gold mine area. So get your pick and shovels and get your washers and your excavators and dig up all that pay dirt and put it in your hopper and shake it up and get the gold out of it. Other than that, I have nothing else to say.
Well, I think you said a lot in just that itself, Dick. I know my connection is bad, so I'll talk slow.
By the way,
When mining-
you guys like accordion music?
No. one likes
Recognize?
accordion.
Oh, I put the squeeze on everybody.
But anyways, that's the one thing for mindset is knowing you're gonna have to dig tons to get ounces, right? In gold mining, right? They don't go in there and find giant chunks of gold. What do they find? Am I that
Flake.
broken?
Flakes.
Okay.
Little nuggets.
Right.
Gold dust.
They have to move an entire mountain to find a pail of gold, right? So you have to move mountains to find ounces. You have to move tons to find flakes.
Mhm.
Yet they are stock crazed out there in the environments doing this in the coldest climate in the world, digging up mountainsides to find little pieces of gold. Because those little pieces add up in volumes, right?
Mhm.
So every day we have to lead generate. Every day we got to go dig in that mountainside. Every day we have to go shovel buckets full of stones, rocks, mud, sludge, snails, and critters at our ankles to find little flakes of opportunity to call and talk to people and have a purposeful, real estate minded conversation. So where's your head at? What's going to keep you motivated when you get stuck on the side of a mountain digging a hole and you don't seem to find anything? Are you 1, 2, 3, 5 calls away from reaching pay dirt, as they call it? Inches away from calling the next person that just happens to be the person looking to buy or sell that $1 million property? What do you tell yourself to keep going? I'd like to hear from you on that. Jason, I'm going to pick on you a little bit because I know you make 50, 60, 70 phone calls a day as needed. What tells you you can stop?
Usually that the wifey's ready to go home. I'm not sure. There's nothing that I don't know. I just keep going.
Right. Tell us a little bit about that. What is it about your lead generation that has allowed you to become, 4 months in the business, have 9 listings?
Well, like you say, that I am the nosy neighbor, so I know everything. And I know that we've mentioned it before, but yesterday there was another KW agent that was putting signs up for an open house, and that really fired me up. So I went door knocking all around, like, what? How can somebody be having a house that I didn't know about was up for sale. So that bugs me. And when I'm in, I just make the phone calls that I need to make. Just keep going.
Okay.
Never quit.
He gets fired. You hear
Yeah.
that? He gets fired up when he finds somebody out is competing against him. Like somebody's got a listing in his neighborhood. He's owned that neighborhood. So you get fired up and go after it. Now, Kelly, you have a buyer, right? So he gave you a fish. Like, this is what you need. Go catch it. So there's the fire. And the scripting around that is super simple. We've talked about it before. Door knocking, circle prospecting, writing letters, doing open houses in that community and say, I have a buyer that wants to live in this neighborhood. He is looking for your specific house. Who do you know that's looking to sell? Right? Phone call. You can get a list of people in a neighborhood. You can do some circle prospecting through multiple different resources. If you guys have a neighborhood in mind, send me an address. I'll see what list I can get for you. But you can make a phone call. Hi, my name is Dan Caldwell at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. It's not likely you know who I am. I'm calling on behalf of one of my clients. We're looking for a house for him in this neighborhood. Do you know anyone that's been showing signs of wanting to sell their house? Right? Is that a difficult conversation to have? Is there going to be some rejection? Is somebody going to say, no, quit calling me? Absolutely, right? Is there going to be somebody that says, my number's not listed. How'd you get this phone number? How do you respond? Anybody?
It's public information.
Actually, it's not.
Um,
Their cell phone number is not public information.
listed. You got a lead somebody suggested that I give you a call.
Right? You could say in the future. So you could tell them, I got your phone number from blank. I got your phone number from your neighbor. You said you may be thinking about selling a house. Ultimately, when somebody says, where this is kind of the objection I wanted to handle today was when somebody says, how'd you get my number? I'm not listed. I'm not interested. Quit calling me. It's all in how we respond. It's not just so much the, hey, I'm sorry. Thank you for your time. Click, goodbye. Right. No, that's just burning a phone call. That's just walking away. They picked up the phone. Hey, I apologize if I offended you at any point. I'm just looking for some information. I think you can imagine that your neighborhood is so desirable. People want to live there. If you know of somebody, if you would please let me know or drop my name, I'd help them out. And make a note to call that person back in a week or so. Send them a letter, send them a card. Because do people have bad days? Right? How many times has somebody called you and it was just the wrong moment? Right? Roseanne's like, yesterday. That shit happened this morning. Right?
I'm living proof. We sold our last house in Rita Ranch because we had a cold call that was really annoying to begin with, but we remembered her because it was annoying and we called her back and she sold our home.
There you go. I mean, there's living proof. Everyone has days that just don't go to plan. And that's a shame, but that's the truth of it. So if you get somebody on the phone or you got a door knock or somebody just having a really bad day and they're just really shining on in a negative space, remember them, send them a card. Even if you don't know their name, but you know their address because you've called, it's probably got the address attached to the name. Say, hey, my friend, sorry for, bugging you today. I didn't mean to. We're still in the look for a house in that neighborhood. If anyone in your neighborhood shows signs of wanting to sell, do me a favor, please give them my information. Right? And then follow up with them. You can make friends that way. My father is probably the grumpiest person in the world you'll ever talk to on the phone when it comes to salespeople. Until you call him again. You call him the first time, he is the best at deflecting phone calls. He's laughing in the background. You can hear him giggling. But he's the best at, nope, why are you calling me? Who is this? Why do you have my number? And click. But the moment he recognizes the name, the number of the person or the organization, open up the social gates. They'll talk for hours. No, maybe minutes. It's hours in engineer days. But it's all about the follow-up, right? Anybody can door knock a neighborhood once. Anybody can call a circle prospecting list once. Anybody could get a ton of leads coming from the internet and call and leave voicemails, right? That's what most we do, right, Jacob? All we do is just keep getting voicemail after voicemail after voicemail. What's keeping you from calling them again? What's keeping you from digging one more pail, one more bucket full, right? What's keeping you from getting on that mountainside? You're gonna love this, Dad. The whole analogy for this morning is Gold Rush. My dad loves that show. So the fortune is made in the follow-up. So, hey, can you answer this? Tucson Medical Center. So the fortune is made in the follow-up.
Oh.
If you get a hold of them the first time, fantastic. If you don't, follow up. I want you guys to take out a piece of paper if you don't have one.
That's disgusting.
Right? We're going to write down 3 words in sequence. You guys got a marker, a pen, piece of paper? Okay. Everyone but Mary's got one. It's okay. She's got a good mind. I want you to write the word buy. B-U-Y. Buy. And then a small little word or. Die. D-I-E. This is the battle cry of a long-time cold caller. Now, when you look at that, buy or die, it's very abrasive, right? They're going to buy or they're going to die, right? Have you ever met anybody with more tenacity than a phone salesperson? They'll call you at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock all the time to make sure that everything they do to get a hold of you and sell you anything, right? It's because their mentality is buy or die. Do you think that they get distracted or discouraged easily when somebody hangs up on them or says no or says get bent, anything like that? Why not? The mentality. Because they know if they make enough phone calls, they talk to enough people, they will find that pay dirt. Why are there so many phone solicitors? What was
A
it
lot
called?
of phones out there.
I like Kelly said it, because it works. Because it works. I know a guy, his name is Ben. I sold him a truck. Ben was sitting with me at the dealership. This was, I don't know, 9 years ago. Ben is a really nice guy from California. Tons of money. He knows the brother of the owner of the dealership I worked for. So that real nepotistic deal, right? I know the owner, give me a deal kind of thing. When Ben was in my office, Ben got a phone call, just a random phone call from a guy selling an apartment complex. Ben brokered a $3 million deal on a piece of scratch paper to buy an apartment complex in somewhere in the Midwest. Kansas, Missouri, somewhere like that. Because somebody called and said, hey, I heard you might be interested in buying up some, investment properties. We're selling this. What's the commission on a $3 million deal? Wow. Right? Do 3% of that. Somebody real quick. You got the math yet? What's 3% of 3 million?
$90,000.
Dick Nichols, do you have time to make a $100,000 phone call?
Let me check. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, guys. That could be $1 million deal on that line. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call them. Stop dying. I'm on a call. You can't die on the call. So mindset is everything, people. Buy or die mentality. You will get them to buy and sell with you, or they will die as a client. You want to have the opportunities you want in your world, then call and talk to more people. The scripting around it. Scripts to use is your Ford call. What does the F stand for in Ford?
Family.
Family. What's important about family, Jason?
Everything.
Okay, what's the O stand for? Someone else.
Occupation.
What's important about occupation?
It's how they make a living.
Right? It's probably the one thing they spend more time doing than they do with their family. What's next? What's the R? Someone else.
Recreation.
Recreation. Cindy, what's important about recreation?
You ask them like, how are they doing in their spare time? You know, like what are they doing to keep themselves busy, especially right now during COVID and all that?
Right? Would you say recreations are the hobbies that drive people's souls?
Sure.
And then what's last? Someone else.
Dreams.
Kyle, tell me what's important about dreams.
Everything. It's that and the other three is what keep you going, and dreams are what you strive for and hope to accomplish with your life.
Do one thing today, and that's go talk to 10 people. Talk to, not make phone calls, not text, not banter. Talk to 10 people and ask them about their family. Ask them about how work is going in their occupations. Ask them what hobbies they're doing, what they're into, what they do to stay busy and sane. And find out 10 different people's dreams, hopes, goals, aspirations for this year, for next year, for the next 5 years, for their life. You want to get to the root of somebody's heart? You find out about those 4 core disciplines, and you will see a ton, and I do mean a ton, of improvement in your rapport, as well as your potential of creating relationships.
Here.
Here, Dad. Here, Dunlin. Keller Williams is Dan. I'm well. Hey, hold on. That's the Pioneer title. Sorry, we got a re-sign coming soon. So the scripting aspect of what we do, I can give you the beautiful lines, the golden tongue, if you will, but they're all centered around asking great questions. And those great questions, how's your family, right? Open-ended, gets a response. How's work, right? Open-ended, gets a response. What are you doing, like Cindy said, to stay busy during COVID especially, right? Raise your hand if you've picked up a new hobby during COVID, like the last year, you've picked up a new hobby. If it includes sitting on the couch doing nothing, that's a hobby too, right? Right? My hobby is finding pounds. I'm really good at finding pounds. I attach them to my hips. I'm really good at that. Right? And ask them, how are you staying sane during COVID? What are you doing to stay busy? What activities are you involved in? And lastly, ask them their dreams. What do you hope 2021 brings that 2020 didn't? What are your goals for real estate? What are your goals in life? How many of your close friends do you not know what their 5-year goal is? Shit, how many of you don't know what your 5-year goal is? Right? So the scripting aspect I want you to focus on today is the mindset of Gold Rush. Like Dick pointed out, I love that he brought that up. It's a fantastic seaway. Having that conversation of dig the mountain until you find gold and then run that line, because they're called gold veins, not gold spots. Because a gold vein has a complete line to it and they dig it until it's done. They don't just get, oh, that's enough. I made 5 calls today. I talked to 5 people. I'm good. No, run it. Run it, baby. Run it. And from there, you will find more and more riches than you can ever have. So a good friend of mine that got into real estate 3 years ago, adopted the mentality of talking to people and building relationships. And she does her DTD2. We'll talk about more later. She has closed 210 deals in the last 3 years. That could be you. So happy Monday, my friends. Go out there and kill it today. But I'd like to hear about your conversations tomorrow. 10 people today. Have a forward conversation. And at the end of them, ask if they know someone wants to buy or sell real estate. You'll be surprised at what happens.
I'll see you tomorrow.